the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and the houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is yet to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. On them they had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing me up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. And what I want to get into, all right, as the title says, the least expected. All right, the least expected. Because as what we're seeing, you know, this thing, you know, this thing is coming to an end. We see Esau even pretty much losing it, you know, coming straight out saying it, you know, that this is the NWO, you know, this man is like Biden said, he's losing his patience, you know, which shows you the tone, all right, that these elitists are coming in, you know, because we know Biden is just a set-up mouthpiece, but say all that to say this, we're in the transition of kingdoms, and what's happening is this word, all right, which is bringing out the vibration of Yahweh Shai, is bringing this place down, and the kingdom is being translated, and is being translated to the people least expected. All right, we're the least expected people to have rulership over the earth. And when you look at, you know, how Esau Edom through his media, through his movies, through his entertainment, you know, through his pseudoscience, has pretty much, you know, put our people at the bottom. All right, because you have the masses of our people that are, you know, they do fit a lot of those stereotypes that Esau pushes to the earth about our people. Then, you know, you have some of those stereotypes that don't fit, you see. But at the end of the day, this man has created an image, you know, of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American as an image of someone who is less than human, you see. And the Constitution has we're 3/5 of a human in this pseudoscience, He talks about how, our brain is smaller than everyone else's, and how we inferior and all these different things. So the earth has taken hold, the earth has taken hold to that concept. All right. So they don't expect nothing great out of our people outside of some type of entertainment, music, sports, actor, which is really low level when you think of the overall scheme of the earth. All right. When you talk about rulership, an entertainer, all right, is very low level when you look at it from a viewpoint of a ruler. You see? So what we have embarked on is a is pretty much something that's far fetched in the minds of someone that isn't wired or built, to believe in this, man. That's why the gospel, is so hard to believe for the masses of people because they can't see, us being in any other position than the ones we in now. The ghettos or, projects. And if you're middle class, you so conform to Esau, you pretty much, a dude boy, Uncle Tom, in the middle class, you see, or either you just a complete sellout within entertainment. And Esau, outside that category, a nigga ain't supposed to be nothing else than that. But see, the gospel is why this the good news, man. We're much more than that, and that's what we have came back into. See, knowing you're an Israelite is more than about, gimmicks and fringes. No, it's about a legacy of rulership that we've been attached to. You see? And we're gonna get those things when you get the book of let's get to the scriptures, and Shalom to you, Akim, wa Akwathium, that are tuned in, Day of Atonement, all right, as we've, embarked right on the day pretty much where we are pleading for mercy in these times, man, because that's above all right, because that's the only thing that's going to matter in the time to come, is whom the Lord has mercy on. Now, let's get that in Matthew chapter, hold on, and that's why Yahweh Shai, made that statement in Matthew. You go to Matthew, the 19th chapter. Yeah. All right, so you go to Matthew chapter 19, verse 30. It says, but many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. You see? Because when you look in the earth, the elites of Esau, Edom, Esau, Edom, he's the first nation. All right, he's the top nation in the earth. Then you have the elite amongst, Esau, Edom, who are the first of the first. Well, they're finna be last. Like Esau, Edom finna go from, these lifestyles of, wealth and resources and control and rulership to the worst type of slavery you can think of, you can imagine. See, this is what's finna happen. This is going to be a major fall off. We fell off as a people, but the way Esau, Edom finna fall, this man is finna go from rulership, resources, and all these things to the worst job you can think of, the worst type of labor on earth you can think of. That will be his new normalcy. All right. Since Esau loves to talk about a new norm, no, you got a new norm coming, and it's hardcore, all right, dangerous, back-breaking labor, man, and he's going from where he's at from when he's come to. That's a big fall, and that's why Yahweh Shai said this in Luke. Let's get there real quick in Luke. This is the book of Luke chapter 10, all right, verse 18. And it says, and he said unto them, all right, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven. And this is Yahushua speaking, and we know Satan, all right, in this context is speaking of Esau Edom, because Esau Edom rules in the energy of Satan. All right, this is talking about Satan falling from the spiritual realm. No, this is speaking of Esau Edom, the nation of people that rule in the energy of Satan, as it says in Second Thessalonians, whose coming is after the working of Satan. All right, and that just proved, we all in tonight. That's late night special. Crazy. How about Shemal Shai? Now, when you go to Second Thessalonians 2, just to prove their point, it's Second Thessalonians 2:9. It says, even whom, or I started 8 reading 2. It says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. Yeah. So the people that are last, all right, are now what? The mouthpiece of Yahweh Shemal Shai. And that's how this man is being consumed, all right, through the prophets whom the Lord has raised up, who come in the spirit, all right, of Yahushua, and is consuming this place, man, and shall destroy, all right, with the brightness of his coming. And that's the physical appearing of Yahushua in those chariots, man. It says even him, and then him is Esau Edom, whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Yep. So when you get that word working, all right, as you can see, that word in the Greek for working, because it sounds like
Strong's G 1753. Energeia.
Energeia. All right. It says working efficiency. All right. You go into the Strong's. Let's see if I can find it. It's gonna actually say the word. There you go. It says efficiency, and you say energy. All right. You see the word energy. You see. So this man who's coming is after the energy of Satan. So when Yahushua said he seen Satan, all right, fall like lightning from heaven, he seen Esau Edom fall quickly from his rulership, and that's the first being last and the last being first. You see? And the last, the Lord has anointed, all right, to prophesy the downfall of the first, man. See, the Lord is doing a mighty work in the earth, man. Lord will, with those men if we continue. And the office of a prophet is not a light office, man. The Lord raised up men to do some heavy duty work, man, but he gave us his spirit, all right, to come in, man, and that's what's taking this place down. Now, just to show, go back to Luke. Because when you go Luke 10 and 16, just to show you the hierarchy, of what's going on, what we see going on. This is Luke 10 and 16. It said, he that heareth you, heareth me. Yeah. So that lets you know that the prophets are the mouthpiece of Yahushua, and the masses of the people have a hard time accepting that because of what we look like, and plus the propaganda that's been ran about our people, man. So when they see the prophets, you got Jake, like they come from the urban area, a little rough around the edges. See, They don't look at us as being all right, the spiritual representation of Yahweh Shema Shai in the earth, man. You know, through his son Yahweh Shai. All right. But Yahweh Shai is telling is expressing it plainly. He that heareth you heareth me. And he that despises you despises me. And he that despises me despises him that sent me. You see? So if you despise the prophet, you despise Yahweh Shai. And if you despise Yahweh Shai, by default, you despise the Heavenly Father, man. So that's the hierarchy that the Lord is dealing with, man. You see? And the masses of the people hate that authority. But this word is coming from the least suspected people on the earth, man. You see? They didn't expect it to be like this. And whenever the Lord would send prophets, you know, he would have to reassure them because he knew, especially Jake, all right, you know, Jake, they despise the authority of another Israelite man. You see? And especially in this time, women have been bred to truly despise the authority of an Israelite man. You know? It just bred into them, especially within this society. All right? But when the Lord would raise up prophets, you know, he would have to reassure them, you know, and pretty much give them, you know, their confidence to go do his work, man. Understand that, look, because when he explains this to Jeremiah, he's explaining the office. You know, when you get a job, all right, what they tell you, you know, what's expected of you. All right. They give you the description, all right, what the job entails, what authority you have, what you over in, you know. Well, when Yahweh Shema Shai would raise up the prophets, he would give them, you know, the office. You know, Jeremiah is a great example of that. He would give them the details of that office and what it entails. When you go Jeremiah 1 and 4, it says, then the word of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. You see? So letting you know that what the spirit of prophets is subjugated, you know, to the prophets, and showing you that, you know, the prophets are ordained before they come on the earth. All right, you have to be born a prophet. You know, it's just a lot. And no one chose that lot. Like, we didn't think about being prophets coming up, man. We all had nigga dreams in the world. You see? We all want, you know, some type of successful nigga in the world, man. We had no, you know, inspiration to be prophets, showing you that it's all through the will and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. And we just pray we endure. We know we called, we pray we chosen, man. Verse 6, it said, then say I, Lord power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. Yeah, because, you know, Jeremiah was physically young, you know, but we're going to get that word child in the Greek soon. And one of the definitions goes to insignificant because, you know, especially in this time where the Israelite man had just been beaten down to a pulp. All right, society beats them down, the entertainment beats them down. Niggas ain't shit, you know, that whole thing. The talk shows. Then you come home, your wife is an extension of this society. You know, your family. You know, so you're getting beat down. There's just a constant, you know, pounding on Jake. You know, and Jake confidence, self-confidence has been brought, you know, real low in this society, man. You know, so a lot of us, we come into this thing like, you know, ain't no way, you know, we can be ordained to do this. Ain't no way this is what I'm meant to do. Like this type of authority, you know. But brothers, you know, we grow into it. And that's why really much attaching ourselves back to the legacy, this is the best thing to heal that low self-esteem demon, you know, that's pretty much plagued us, man. You know, because now it doesn't matter what people think or what they say or what they try to question. It don't matter, you know. Now we stepped into the authority that we've been given, and we don't do it in a way, all right, of condescending, talking down, or you know, trying to flex or trying to extort people, and you know, no, we just teach the word with authority, man. You know, we understand, all right. who we work for. You see? So going back into it, Jeremiah 1:6 said, then said I, Lord, power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, said the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shah. Yeah, so the Lord will have to reaffirm, the prophets when he will call them, to their office and let them know you good. Speak my words and I'm with you. All right. Be not afraid. All right. Speak what I say. You good. You work for me. You see, your authority comes from me. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, your authority comes from me. And see, people don't, and the masses not gonna respect it. Why? Because they're used to, you walking across the stage, getting a plaque, some type of piece of paper, all right, being recognized on, on TV or something for being promoted, or Jake is used to that, but they're not. Our people are not prone to respect, the authority given to particular men from on high. See, only the elect will see that. All right. Verse 9 says, then the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai put forth his hand and touched my mouth, and the Lord said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. And that's why, as long as we stay in the scriptures, we have authority. You see, our authority comes from the scriptures and the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, and it's not within ourselves, man. And it's not for us to be built up, all right, carnally in this world. No, we here to be servants. You see, we was given authority to be servants unto the elect, man. And it said, verse 10 says, see, I have this day set thee over. Wait a minute. You see, I have set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root up and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant. You see? So the Lord, what he set the prophets over the nations, man. Spiritually, the prophets are set up over the nations. The prophets are pretty much commentating what's coming to the earth, man. It don't matter who the president of Russia is. Guess what? We telling God and may God, all right, that y'all gonna come forth to battle, man. You see? It don't matter who's the presidents of these nations, the kings of the East, China, North Korea, Iran. Guess what? We telling y'all finna go to war, man. That's a position of authority when you telling someone what they're going to do. All right? And no one has an option. Like the 2/3 gonna be the 2/3. False prophets, they gotta come. And see, the prophets are commentating everything, telling everybody pretty much their role in the movie, man. And their authority comes from on high. You see? And we serve Yahweh Shema Shai in fear and trembling, man. And that prevents us from being proud, from misusing the authority. All right, like we see that, and we even talk about that. The prophets hit everything. Now, let's go from let's get that in Matthew. You see, and people didn't expect, all right, the prophets to come in this way. The Most High, and he was very. You can tell he meant it to be a stumbling block. So, like Eliashah Wamba always says, the Most High did it this way to test, the integrity, of Israel. All right, see who was really sincere or not. And it's a lot of people, it's a lot of Israelites offended, not just by the word itself, but who was bringing it out. A lot of old J, like I know my pastor, you could tell he was offended, when I started questioning him about scriptures, man. Like, how dare you, their spirit, these old Jakes, these old niggas, all right, they look at these young men, as ain't no, it don't matter what they saying. I'm over them. You know. This is on Matthew 11:25. It says at that time, Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father. Yeah, so Yahushua was thanking, all right, the Father, all right. And what was he thanking him for? Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent and has revealed them unto babes. Let's get the word babes. You see? It's the people least suspected, man. It's not the people with the doctor's degrees and, all these, accolades and titles and big followings, great orators and big speakers. No, the Most High, all right, he did it in a very unorthodox way, man. And a lot of people, all right, are tripped up by it, man. All right, now you get that word in the Greek. All right.
Strong's G 3516. Napias.
All right. And this goes metaphorically. All right. It says childish, untaught, unskilled. You see? Let me get this. Come on, man. All right. It said childish, taught, all right, or unskilled, and pretty much someone that's insignificant, within this society. All right. The babes. And this is how the Lord always dealt. He always dealt, with the least suspected. Even when you go to that account in 1 Samuel. All right, 16. All right, 1 Samuel 16:7. It said, but the Lord Yahweh Shai said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. Yeah, and this was speaking of a physical countenance and the height, because Samuel was looking at all David's older brothers. They were probably men, tall men, built a certain way, had a certain countenance about themselves. And Samuel, was looking amongst them as, he knew that one of these was the anointed, dealing with David's older brothers. You see? But Yahushua said, you looking at the wrong thing. And see, a lot of people, they take heed, even within these Israelite groups. It's a lot of Israelites that are following certain groups because they color coordinated, because their garments are spiffy. You see, because they got the microphone, they got the, the cookouts, they got the, the Hebrew family portraits. They're looking at the countenance of a camp. All right. And it's a lot of them that's deceived. You see, the height, the stature, the status, because height, being elevated, your stature being elevated in this society, man. And those are the ones that people and the masses flock to. It's a lot of jakes, they following counts based on who got the most views, man. All right, it's a lot of jakes out here following strictly from the outward appearance, man. They find out they Israelites and then they cleave, to something because of an outward appearance, man. It says, because I have refused him. Yeah, and it's a lot of people that's refused, a lot of Israelites, men and women that's refused. It don't matter about the countenance and, how the outside, no, they're refusing. And why is that? It says, for the Lord Yahweh Shai seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord Yahweh Shai looketh on the heart. You see? So the men that he chose, these men are built a particular way. And time gonna show that those men was always built different than everyone else, man. Especially when we come into the times of the clutch. All right, especially in the time of the clutch, man. So, and when you read down verse 12, it said this 1 Samuel 16:12, and he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and speaking of David, and withal of a beautiful countenance, it says, and goodly to look to. And the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren, and the spirit of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah came upon David. And from that day forward, so Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. Yeah, so what happened? David was called, then he was chosen and he was anointed. And that's, the process of the men of Yahweh Shema Shah. He was called and he was anointed. You see? But it was what? The least expected. Even with Yahweh Shah, the way Yahweh Shah came, from Nazareth, even if there's one disciple like him, and anything good come from Nazareth, his father was a carpenter, his mother, like he didn't come in an extravagant way. He didn't come in a way of royalty. He came, lowly. And Jake was offended at that, man, for him to make that claim that he was claiming. And that's why they look at us the same way. For us to make a claim that we're claiming, first of all, even just speaking with Israelites, man, these heathen lose it. And then amongst our people, when brothers speak about, being the prophets, it's a laughing stock, man. It's a laughing stock. And then certain people that know that we're Israelites, that know that they're Israelites, men and women, they have it's a stumbling block to them to submit to their authority, man. Of what's being taught. And it ain't us you submit to the word that's coming through us, man. And there's a lot of Israelites that have a problem with that. And that's why Jake don't mind asking anything, saying anything, coming at you any type of way, because they don't respect the authority that was given. You see? Women out of order, doing too much. Why? Because they don't respect the order, the authority that was given. You see? You can tell someone respects, authority by how they act, how they react. So going on, it says, now this is dealing with Yahweh Shah. This is Luke 14:17. It says, I started at 16. It says, and he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found a place wherein it was written, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. You see that? Because he have anointed me, just as David was anointed. Just as, Jeremiah, was called, and gave an office. You see? It says the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he have anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He have sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverances to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. And see, that's the office of a prophet in these times, man. And Yahweh Shah was that chief cornerstone. He was the pioneer, of everything that we're doing, of how to teach, how to maneuver within society. Yahweh Shah was a great example of that, but he's pretty much given the office of a prophet to preach the gospel, the good news, telling our people, look, we the children of the promise. We have a power. We Israelites, the names of our power, Yahweh, his son's name, Yahweh Shai. We're part of a covenant. All right. We have a kingdom coming, the good news. You know, and we see said, and it says they have anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. Yeah, because like I said earlier, man, especially for the Israelite man, it's like decided pretty much scriptures to nothing. Because even, you know, the men, Israelite men who have money, like you look at the Mayweather, you can tell he's still poor in self-esteem and self-image. You know, that's why he's so extravagant when it comes, to showing his money. You know, everything about money. You see Jake coming there in, so Jake can have money, but they still can have poor spirits, poor self-esteem, poor self-image. You see, because the Edomites don't act like that. Edomites be worth way more than these guys, and they don't have to act like that because they have such a high confidence in who they are because it's their kingdom, you know. And society tells them, reminds them all the time that they it. You see, so this gospel is preached to the poor. It says, "He have sent me to heal the brokenhearted, all right, the broken mind." You see, to preach deliverance to the captives, and what's we was in physical captivity, but now, all right, we was brought up in a mental prison. Thinking we was by words, thinking we was singing songs to Jesus or whatever we was born into, whatever madness we was born into. They had our mind captive, man. Women worship, money worship, all these things we was into, we was captives, to these things, and the recovering of the sight to the blind, so to set at liberty them that are bruised. So this is the office of a prophet, man. And that authority was given from on high. And there's particular men that have that office, man. It just is what it is. And none of the brothers chose this, man. No brother, from kindergarten, when they asked him what he wanted to do, none of us said, "I want to be a prophet," a great Israelite prophet. No, man, it was something that was given to us, like Jonah, man. You know, you can't run from your life. So just like Jonah, when he broke down, hey, he just had to accept his life. You see, and it says to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. All right, which that's coming soon. And he closed the book and he gave it again to the minister and sat down. And the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. All right, so you see how Jake, Jake leaned back, probably looking him from the feet, feet to head, and it says, and he began to say unto them, "This day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears." Yeah, so he proclaimed, all right, authority. And Jake hate that. Jake hate when you have some type of confidence, especially the woman, man. Especially the Israelite woman, the nigga woman, man. She hates when you have any type of confidence, man. Especially when it don't come from her. You see? But now we got a source of confidence that don't come from this earth. It comes from Yahweh Shai, man. And people hate that, man. You see? And it says, "And all bear him witness and wonder at the gracious word which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, Is not this Joseph's son?" So what they were trying to do, they were trying to diminish. Now they're trying to diminish, who he is now. Trying to put him in a box. And see, that's what this society want. They want to put us in a box. All right. They want us to be a certain way. Eve used us to being, thirsty and, all in her. The man, Israelite man, Jake, he used to us being dumbed down and having these simple, vain conversations with them. But no, now we have a above way of thinking. You see, and it's not of this world. And the Most High gave that gift to those that were least suspected, man. He gave that wonderful gift to those that were least suspected. You see? And it's a beautiful thing, man. That's why, brother, you just gotta embrace it, man. Don't worry about, right now and how people view you and look at you, and the people that don't respect the authority. It's all good, man. Let them do them. Let them be them. Everybody got their role to play. You see, rebellion is part of prophecy too. You see, that stiff neck energy, that's part of prophecy too. But it is what it is. So now we in the time, all right, where the least suspected is about to rule. If a brother can post that for me. I believe it's on Sirach 11:5. Get a couple more. But yeah, man, Lord willing, we those men. We have we have a great ending in the story. You see, this is 1 Samuel 2:6. I started at 8. Yep, this 1 Samuel 2:8. It says he raises up the poor out of the dust. Yeah, that's out of confusion. Because the first thing, when the Lord started having favor on his people, all right, the elect of his people, he started raising us out of confusion. He gave us pastors, all right, according to his own heart, that started feeding his people with knowledge and understanding. That's what raised us up out the dust, out that confusion, man. All right. The teachers, man, the prophets, man, coming back on the scene. And the reward of a prophet, like it's a tedious, it's a lifestyle of being hated, dealing with all this different energy from different people, scoffers, demons jumping on people just because it's you. Like there's different demons that jump on people that's around us, just because of who we are, man. Different demons bother us and our sleep, hold us down all the time. I'm talking about it's all type of crazy. Like, it is what it is, man. I ain't sitting here, complaining because hey, it is what it is. Because hey, it's part of the job duty, man. But that's why it's such a great reward coming, man. And we're gonna get. It says he raised up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes. See, their promotion, and it's gonna be the ones least suspected. He said he lifted up the beggar from the dunghill. Yeah, a dunghill is a place of no honor. The beggar. All right. Hey, us filling out an application, that's putting us in the position of a beggar. You put in an application, they don't call soon enough. You call them now, you're in the position of a beggar. We've been in positions of beggars, man. You see? Or whatever you gotta do, you got your own business, you gotta go apply for this, apply for that. You're begging, you're going to beg someone, all right, to start a business, man. When you go ask for permission to do this, permission to do that, you see? And it says to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory, for the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. You see that? So as he's talking about what? Raising up the poor. And who was the gospel preached to? The poor. All right? And it don't mean we just piss poor having nothing. Now, financially compared to the rich and the wealthy, yeah, we through. You see? Brother, we have nothing, to live and get by and do what we need to do. You see? But just letting you know, it's going to be the one that's least suspected whom the Lord is finna allow to inherit these thrones of glory. All right? The thrones of an eternal kingdom. They not expecting us, man. Them crazy guys with the, with the curtains on, teaching the Bible. You see? And it says, he will keep the feet of his saints. All right, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. So you see how, it talks about lifting up the poor, all right, the elect of Israel, but then it's talking about judging Esau, Edom, because it runs together. All right, our promotion all right, is directly linked to the fall and the demotion, all right, the motion of Esau Edom. It said, verse 10, the adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, as here in America, and he shall give strength unto his king. You see that? He shall give strength unto his king, Yahushua, and exalt the horn, all right, which is the power of his anointed. You know, you gotta think, here it is. Yahushua is in the earth, all right, within the Roman captivity in Judea, and he's walking around the earth. You think people are looking at this? You think people are looking at Yahushua like this is the King of Kings, Lords of Lords? Like this is the everybody talk about God and God, but this is the first spirit created, the only spirit created by the Heavenly Father that's walking amongst the earth. You think people expected that? You know, you gotta think. Do you think people was expecting that? He's just walking. You know, you walk past him on the way to work. You know, you see. You know, it's beautiful how the Lord set this thing up. And see, we come in that same state. That's why, you know, as joint heirs, we're going through the same thing Yahushua went through, man. You know, to be what? Conformed unto that image. All right. So, um, let's get that. This is from the brother Bayan Yasha Allah. It said Ecclesiasticus 11:5. It said many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of have worn the crown. You see, and one that was never thought of have worn the crown. And see, we ain't they not expecting us, man. And it's a beautiful thing. So I say, brothers, you know, you gotta embrace it. You know, being counted out. It's something we gotta embrace. You know, because we know the end game. If we stay the course, we know the end game. The elect, all right, get the last laugh, man. And the men, all right, oh man, you brothers, you gonna be on thrones, man, in the earth. You're gonna be part of a government of Israel. That's an eternal government. That's why I talk about these crowns being incorruptible, man. You know, there's a promotion coming that we can't even fathom, that we can't even understand fully. We just know it's great, you know. So all we gotta do is just stay the course, man. Yahushua, he stayed the course. That's why you know the author, all right, the pioneer of our faith, man. You know, he's that great example. Just move how Yahushua move, all the way to the end, even unto death, man. Whatever it is, even unto death. You know? But can't nothing separate us from inheriting those thrones of glory if we're part of that number. You see? Yep. The brother, all right, Ashaya Asha'Allah, all right, the same chapter, Ecclesiastes 11:6 says, many mighty men have been greatly disgraced. And see, Esau, the mighty man in the earth now, and he's about to be disgraced. It says, and the honorable delivered into other men's hand. You know, because in the society, you know, Esau for the longest has been looked at the honorable, but now he's going to be delivered into the hands, all right, or into the power of a nation that's least likely, all right, everyone expects, man. You see, but there's a great reward at the end of this, man. You know, you brothers just keep pushing. Don't be worried. Don't worry about views. Don't worry about being popular, man. It's gonna be brothers that got 20 subscribers get 2 views, man. You know, it's gonna be part of that number, that 144,000, man. You see, it's gonna be a great promotion. Things finna flip in a major way, man. You know, you brothers just stay the course, man. Don't be discouraged by, you know, these things on the outside that's trying to cast doubt, man. You know, just stay the course, man. Let's get that in Revelation. Get a couple more weeks. All right, Revelation 11. All right, Revelation 11:18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. All right, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, which is these heathen nations. It says, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants. You see that? The prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and should destroy them which destroy the earth, man. You see that? So as I always talk about that great reward, and it began with the prophets going in order, you know, then to the saints, all right, the elect men, you know, and them that fear thy name, small and great, man. Yeah, the women and children. So the reward, all right, it begins with the prophets, then the rest of the elect, man. But everybody is going to be beyond satisfied with their portion, you know, that the Lord rewards them with, man. You see? So I get this and I end it here. Get a couple of these. This is the brother Yaharlish, Judah Israel, 2 Corinthians 4:16. He said, for which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. Yeah, man. And we're constantly being strengthened more and more in the spirit. You know, we're constantly being strengthened more and more in the spirit as long as we stay attached to Yahweh, man. You know, and you do that through what? Our obedience, our lifestyle. That's what brings us close. You know, doing the work, laboring, fellowshipping, you know, reading, researching, you know, those things renew the inward man. All right. And now the inward man is getting built up so strong, you see, to the point where it's gonna make us unmovable in these times, man. All right. This is 2 Corinthians 4:17. It said, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. You see, we got a great glory coming, man, for this light affliction. So not being light, not being popular, that's a light affliction, man. Then it's to the point, like I said, well, you don't even care, man. You know, of course, you in the world, you know, because that's why a lot of Jakes get those lineups, man. They still want to be popular. They still want to be, you know, appeasing the Eve, man. All right. But it's the more that inward man, you know, gets stronger, you don't care about that, man. All right. Because you know it's vanity, man. You trying to be cute for somebody that's going to die a horrible death soon. You know, please your house shot, man. That's what the inward man is built to do. This is brother Bayan Yashala. Ecclesiastes 10:7 says, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon earth. Yeah, that's the, you know, that's us, you know, the princes, the true rulers in the position of a servant, and the servant Esau Edom, all right, in a position of power. But that's why the first shall be last and the last shall be first. You see? But let's get that in the let's get that in Sirach. No, Wisdom of Solomon. You know, the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. And that's what we see happening now. The righteous men are standing in great boldness, man. You see, here it is, we in the middle of this man's empire, telling them he's done it. You know, it's over. Constantly telling him about his destruction, constantly telling him about captivity, man. Because the Lord put the spirit of boldness on particular men. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all that they look for, the least suspected, even though the way that we're going to be delivered. All right? They think those things are UFOs. They think the chariots of Yahweh Shema Shah are UFOs, man. And that's the chariots of Israel, our deliverance, man. You see? The Most High, all right, through Yahweh Shah is going to blow these people away, all right, at the deliverance of Israel. And it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we have sometimes in derision and a proverb and a reproach. Yeah, you know, them niggas, them speaks, them wetbacks, them porch monkeys, all right? All they good for is dunking the ball, you know, all the racial jokes. You know, Esau have all them damn, you know, racial jokes. You see? That derision, that laughing stock, man. This sleepy Mexican, you know, deadbeat dads, all right? All of them are the cartel, you know, the Northern Kingdom. They all the cartel, you know. Verse 4, it says, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. You see? But the Lord say what? He gonna raise the beggar from the dunghill and make them inherit thrones of glory. You see? But they count our life as madness. Like, they look at a nigga like, they like, oh, it's just a, you know, street, it's just a thug, you know, street guy, dope, you know. And they look at the average Jake like that, you know. And he got just, every Jake got just 2 or 3, 4, you know, baby mamas everywhere, and he's a deadbeat, you know. That's the coming, when you see a J, it's the first thing that the masses of the people think of, man. Not knowing that amongst those people, because you do have, you know, horrible niggas and horrible, you know, women of our people, you see. But amongst that, the Lord has raised up a remnant, all right, to inherit those thrones of glory, man. All right. And it says, how was he numbered among the children of the Most High? And his lot is among the saints. Yeah, it's going to blow him away. You see, even in the kingdom, man, hey, that's going to be so fulfilling, man. The kingdom, man. We on thrones, you in rulership, you over a whole realm. You brothers, you know, over a whole providence of the earth, man. You know, you brothers going to be running it, man. And people going to know. You see, people going to know. And it ain't gonna be nothing like that feeling, man. And it says, therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. What have pride profited us? And what have good riches with our vaunting brought us? Yeah, and vaunting is boasting. You see? So at the end of the day, and this is the people that was first being last. Now they talking from a position of being last. They were like, our pride, our riches, you know, our boasting, that didn't help us. That didn't stop us from going in captivity and them being raised up as rulers and kings, man. You know? Like, they didn't do nothing for our behalf. And we thought them people, we count their life madness. You see? It's because, see, the earth think that we just going to be in this perpetual state of being at the bottom. And see, that's why Vocab, you know, he was so invigorated to try to debunk what we were saying, because he didn't want the part about us being rulers, man. See, that's what really irksome to them. Us about being rulers, that's one of the most irksome things to the people, all right, that don't believe, man, these heathens, you know. That's irksome. But it is what it is, man. So the Lord is dealing with the underdog, man, the least suspected. All right. And you look at it, we're the least suspected on the earth to have the next rulership. But we know what's written. All right. So Lord, will you brothers and your few sisters were edified. You know, I say Day of Atonement, you know, you brothers, you know, you few sisters participate, make sure, you know, hey, just be strong, man. Pray for what you need in these times because, you know, during fasting, all right, our prayers are magnified and heard more. You know, so pray often, you know, pray for for the things you need with what, you know, self-reflection, whatever we're lacking in, this is the time to pray for it, man. You know, and Lord willing, you brothers and you few sisters, all right, are sincere, your prayers be heard. All right. So Lord will you brothers and you sisters edified till next time I say Shalom, you know, call me Ashala, Bible Ball, DTA soon.